Hello and welcome to Training Tuesday, where we go through weekly tips and tricks to make your career just a little bit more awesome. Now this week, we are talking about the meatiest problem, the one that pretty much everyone comes to me for in terms of my career coaching work, and that is the question of career fulfillment. And you see, I tend to work with a very particular type of client. Every single one of my clients is a really driven professional who's so used to taking ownership in all of these areas of their life that it's kind of terrifying when they realize that they're not exactly sure what they want to do with their career. It's these people who are so used to grabbing the bull by the horns that it can definitely be a really jarring feeling. And it's okay, it happens a lot. But with these folks, I almost always give the same exercise as a jumping off point after the consult because so many people, this applies perfectly to them. And it's the idea of keeping track of when time flies for the next few days. So it's the idea of keeping track of when you're in flow is a big concept in the training world, or when you nearly forget to go get a snack, right? But I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions in that vein to try and figure out if there's a way to adjust your role to get a bit more career fulfillment. So 1, what do I love that I get to do as often as possible? What pieces of my job do I really not love? So which ones are the lowlights of my day? And then last but not least, is there anything I can do to get a little bit more of the stuff I love and less of the stuff I don't? Right? Because it seems simple, but the reality is a lot of people don't take time to ask themselves this. And pretty much all career advice and all advice as a whole can come back to do more of the stuff you like and less of the stuff you don't. Unfortunately, a lot of people aren't so good at taking their own advice. So ask yourself those 3 questions as a great starting point to hopefully try and tweak your role, because it's always easiest to grow where you're planted if possible. So try those on. If you're still struggling with career satisfaction as a whole, a lot of people try and think about this work and they can spend forever thinking about it and not actually doing anything about it. If you think that's been kind of the case that you're up into this point, it might be a question of having that extra accountability and the tools to get you there, because it can feel really daunting to say, just figure out what you like, right? So start there. If that's not working, reach out. I have consults with people to see if they might be a fit for one-on-one coaching, and I take you through all the tools to do this and that, because this work is the work that I did years ago to transfer from a successful media role into an even more successful talent development and culture role. And it's how I moved into employee training years ago. And so I teach people this process because it works. Because unfortunately, a lot of times people tend to spend a lot of time thinking about it and not a lot of time doing much about it. So if that does sound like something that you're still struggling with, even after this exercise, reach out to me. It might make sense to do some sort of one-on-one coaching. But try that exercise on for size and see how it works for you. Share any feedback, reach out to me directly, and test it out. Let me know how it goes. And in the meantime, happy working.